guys, I'm Bobbi and welcome to Bobbi's Bookshelf. This is the channel where I'll be talking about everything books, and today we're going to try and get out of a book slump. I realize this is a weird place to start for my channel, but I was watching vlogs about getting out of a book slump and then it occurred to me I could just start here. I'm technically not fully in a full book slump. I've been reading some nonfiction books, but I just recently, like a month ago, finished Dune, and it was so good that it's just been hard to find another book I want to finish. We are going to the library, we're gonna find a new book. I've been kind of hoping for maybe like a fantasy fairy tale type of narrative. I say that now and then we go and I'm reading something completely different. So we'll see how it goes. And yeah, I'm excited to start. At the library. Couldn't stay too long because it was a little sketchy in there, but it wasn't a failure. I got 2 books, both of which are pretty popular, so I'm hopeful that it's gonna get me out of this book slump. The first one is Abby Jimenez, yours truly, and then the second is Riley Sage, The Only One Left. I'm a little self-conscious vlogging in my car, so we'll take these on the road and then we'll break it down. Okay guys, I'm back from the library and I realized that I also had some books on my bookshelf that I could also maybe use to get me out of this book slump, but we'll see. I'll just go through all the books and we'll see which sticks. The first one is Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. So this one is like really popular on TikTok. I've seen so many people talk about it. Full transparency, I usually don't like TikTok books, but I'm hopeful because the girlies love this one. I will say, like, after reading Dune, I really want a book where I can get like lost in, and I feel like romance is a hard genre to do that. But I also haven't read a fiction in a while, so I'm like, maybe I just need to get through a book, get on pace, and then we'll see. Basically, we'll see. And also, I've always wanted to read something of her because everybody talks about her. I don't know if I had to read another book, like if this is a part of a series. I hope not. I haven't even read the inside sleeve yet, but we'll see. The next one I got was actually a book that Darling Desi recommends. Riley Sage's The Only One Left, and it's like a thriller. I do remember that. It's summer read, so I feel very like in the season of things. I do remember Darling Desi saying it was slow in parts, so I hope that doesn't push me further into a book slump. We're gonna start with these, and if they're not engaging, I am not afraid of a DNF, so let's hope that these are the vibe. And let's hope it cools down today because it's really freaking hot. Page 16, so I'm in the second chapter. I usually hate when books have like some weird thing going on with a sibling. Hopefully you can hear me because the road is literally right there. You can see the cars. Sorry about that. I'll put some like closed captions if I can. I usually hate when there's like weird stuff going on with a sibling in a book, maybe because me and my sister are close. So when things like this, like in the book, I hope this isn't a spoiler, his younger brother is marrying his ex-girlfriend, like that is always hard for me to fathom because there's no chance in hell that would ever happen between me and my sibling. What I hate about it is that like in those types of books, usually the protagonist is the only one who's struggling with that kind or reconciling that situation. Like they always make it seem like the protagonist is just being unreasonable. That it's kind of refreshing that immediately his whole family calls him and is like, what the fuck, you know? I actually think this book might get me out of my slump. The way she writes is kind of like drinking water. It's like very easy to follow and get into, and I think that the hardest part when you're in a book slump is like getting into a new story. So I'm really actually surprised. Like I knew people liked it, but I'm still kind of surprised just because of my past experience with TikTok books. Sorry, there's like a party over there in the park. It's a popular day. To do a little catch up, but there's a creepy man over there and I might have to leave soon. The reality of being a woman. Anyway, like it's a very pretty realistic so far kind of setup to the story, but their names are so distinctively like book names, like Xander, Maddox, all of that kind of thing, that I'm like, their names almost don't fit into the world that she's created rather than the opposite. I didn't think it was going to be this easy to get out of a book slump. Who knows? Like I still feel like this one's gonna get easy to get through, but you know, in the book slump, you gotta like get that routine in. So hopefully over the next few days reading these books will get me into a good place to maintain it. Good book, good park. What more can a girl ask for? Also, just vlogging in general has been so much easier than I anticipated it would be that I'm kind of flabbergasted. Like it may just be beginner's luck, but I really thought this is going to be more difficult than it was. So we're home and back. It was a hot day, but it was a good day. Now I'm ready to chill and just read. I'm gonna continue with this because I'm like 10 chapters in and it's really good. I didn't know that there was gonna be a letter writing trope, so I love that. I think I might start the other one later tonight if I'm feeling up to it, or I'll just start it later this week. But so far so good. I realized I didn't update you on what the book's about. So it's about two different doctors, Brianna and Jacob. They're both rivaling for a chief of medicine position, and Brianna is like a more long-standing doctor at the hospital. She's dealing with her brother who is on dialysis because he needs a kidney. Jacob just got to the hospital, was moved from a previous position because partially due to the fact that his ex was a doctor at the old hospital and the ex is now getting married to his brother. And they started off on the wrong foot, and now they like write letters back and forth to each other. They're both dealing with a lot of stress, and like these letters tend to be the thing to look forward to. It's really cute so far. And each chapter goes back and forth to each point of view, so you kind of get how they're interpreting each interaction, which is helpful, especially considering Jacob's main conflict is this anxiety that he has. So as I said before, I was thinking I was gonna really need like a very elaborate kind of book, whether it was like a fantasy or like a fairy tale retelling type of book to like get me out of my slump. But I really don't mind the romance vibes. I really don't mind. I mean, there's no romance yet. It's kind of building towards that. I'm only 80 pages in, not that far. So now I get the whole summer vibe for these romance books. I may be a convert. Stay tuned. I'm eating cherries, by the way. That's my roomie's cat bow. One sec. To me, when books like put in like really contemporary references. There's a video that goes viral of one of the doctors on TikTok. I think of Vine, and I'm like, isn't there going to be like a time where TikTok may be antiquated, and like now this book is gonna have like Arrested Development, I guess. I don't know. I'm not the type of person, like if I'm reading a book, I'm not waiting for them to name drop Instagram or TikTok or any of that. So it's always funny when they include it to me. Not a bad thing, just like food for thought, I guess. Hey guys, it's Friday. I haven't been able to really read this week. It was a busy work week, so I'm gonna try and hit the park today while it's nice out and go read a bit. Hopefully we make progress. Coming back with a little update. I finished Yours Truly. It was like a 3-star read. It was a little slow at the end, but I'll give a full review at the end of both books, or however many books this vlog entails. I started the other book, the thriller, and I'm excited to see where it goes. Hopefully it'll get me out of my book slump, because I think I lost pace there a little, and I'm excited to keep reading. Hey guys, I'm back. It's been a minute, but I'm back to talk about the books. Okay, so we'll start with Yours Truly. I'd give it like 3 stars. I think the first half was really good. I was like really drawn in by just the way it was written, like in their minds, and I really got invested in the characters. I think on the second half it started to slow down some and kind of honestly put me back in a book slump. I won't give spoilers, but a big element of the book, which let me just check. Okay, it's not on the back, but if this spoils, sorry y'all, is like he donates a kidney to one of the other characters' like little brother. It just seems so extreme, but yeah. And I think the way they wrapped it up was a little rushed at the end. Like there was definitely like a slow period there where the themes became a little repetitive. Like the way in the end the female characters trust issues started to come up seemed a little bit rushed, I guess. And I wish they would have just planted a few more seeds earlier in the book that we could see that develop, because it kind of just seemed like out of the blue, like they were just wrapping up every, all the little loose ends in the end, rather than it being like a natural progression of the plot. But yeah, so I think the ending, the second half kind of put me back in a book slump. Full transparency, there was a gap between these two, and I did go back and read Dune Messiah, but I think that was good because it launched me into wanting to read this one and seeing if I could sustain, because it got me out of my book slump again, but it kind of put me back where I was at the beginning of yours truly, where I couldn't just go into the next Dune book. Like, I needed a break from the world. So reading this was like the perfect follow-up because it was a thriller and it was actually so good. I really enjoyed this. I would give it 4 stars. I do remember why I don't really read thrillers though, because she would theorize on things, like we're in her mind, so we know what she's thinking about, like what the mystery of the book is, blah blah blah. And she would go and tell, like anytime something suspicious happened, she would go and tell the person what her theory was, and it was so frustrating. I was like, why would you go and tell them so they could just go and cover their tracks? Like, she was just a little bit, she was smart as a character, but then she would make these like very obvious transparent choices where I'm like, aren't you smart enough not to be this transparent in a dangerous situation where like the last girl in your position is dead? Just my thoughts, just my personal opinion. I think like if you're in a book slump, read a thriller, because I just was like craving to read it. Like I'd come home and it'd be like, or like I'd be at work and I'd want to come home and read the book because I just wanted to know what was gonna happen. Like, it's just, this genre is just like a brain scratch. It's so good. So in conclusion, I would give this book 4 stars, The Only One Left by Riley Sager, 4 stars. And then I would give yours truly 3 stars. So that's pretty good. It did what it needed to do. I am officially out of my book slump. I'm excited to keep reading. So that's it with this vlog, guys. It worked. My book slump is officially ended. The next read I think is gonna be Coco Meller's new release, Blue Sisters. I just picked it up from my local bookstore and I'm excited about that. I don't know, hopefully I vlog it. Hopefully my consistency, you know, builds and I can, you know, keep going with this, but I really enjoyed this vlog, and until next time.